Excuse me, mister. Have you ever thought of, carnivore to able to get out of there? I know I'm kind of friendly to you, but do you mind if you lift your tentacle and shake hands with me? I don't think so. Anyways, hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more of the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Kirby's Epic Yarn, whilst new forms of the 3DS version, or to be more accurately, the 3DS version, Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn for the Nintendo Wii / new Nintendo 3DS / new Nintendo 2DS XL, because that was quite a mouthful. So anyways though, last time we actually did manage to fully begin with the forms of Waterland and able to actually explore through 4 levels, despite the fact that I have to replay Deep Dive Deep level from twice, because I need to able to go ahead and go after the gold medal and stuff like that. So anyways, today for this episode is the fact that we're going to be hopefully finishing up with this entire world of Waterland to finish up with, well, not exactly just yet though, because there are still some more secret levels that we can able to actually just covered. And first of all, we want to point things out is the fact that in this particular video is the fact that we're going to be taking on the 4th boss in this game, Capamari. And it appears to be a giant looking octopus, or in this case, yeah, just an octopus in general. So even then, we're about to get this thing started. So, first thing you might actually notice is the fact that he's just, he's trying to summon those, tentacles at you. But, in order to able to actually just deal the damage on the forms of, Capamari, is the fact that you can able to actually just reflect the tentacle projectiles right back at him. And as a result being that how the fact that you can also manage to collect these beads as much as you wanted to, like obviously I'm still going to be doing that because, well, you know how 100% completionist actually works, that how the fact that not only do you want to able to actually go through like, you know, every single medals, but also unlocking extra stages, you know, just like the ones in the forms of these secret maps in Warrior Lands and Shake Dimension and stuff like that. If you get caught by the tentacles, as you can see right there, your beads were able to be scattered, so even that knows how to stay sharp on that one. So, although, kind of thing about it though is the fact that the entire battle takes place in underwater, in case if you probably want to know. And basically, in order to actually deal with the actual boss fight properly, is the fact that we need to unravel the rest of the yarn in the top of his head. Like, I think you have to do this twice. And you need to be very quick though, because every time you're actually doing these kinds of stuff like this, as you can tell, these tentacles are always so fast if you manage to able to unravel the actual yarn for an extensive amount of time. But as long as you can able to actually just unravel the rest of the yarn, then you would able to actually just finish him off completely. So even then, I still got caught anyway. Oh well. But on the plus side though, I can still able to collect those beads from there. So even then, that makes a little bit more consumption from that. So anyways, once that's done, basically he's now going into himself his true form, and now we need to able to actually just get a good chance to attack him. So there goes one down, and as soon as you think this fight is over, well, there's still some more beads to be collected around here, including some star beads. Well, he's not entirely done yet, because obviously he's now going to be shooting for those different parts, based off of how the fact that you can able to actually collect those beads and whatnot. Although sometimes it kind of feels a bit unpredictable at times though, if you want to able to dodge his cannon shots and stuff like that. But as long as you know what you're doing, you would be fine. But on the other hand though, is the fact that, oh, I forgot about that star bead. In fact, we've already got it, so, and as soon as you deal with him, like, let's just say about 2 hits in this guy, and that way, the entirety of Capamari is basically defeated. So, yeah, it's not that bad of a boss fight. Sometimes it can be tricky, sometimes, most notably because of the attack patterns, or maybe because of that little, pot cannon section that it always throws me off a little bit. But other than that though, we have pretty much done with the forms of the 4th boss in the game. So not only did we get himself his theme, but also the treasure map patch, which actually leads us to, what else? Secret levels. But anyways, cutscene.
We did it! We got a piece of the magic yarn. The magic yarn shimmered and spiraled and swirled high into the sky. The yarn weaved its way into the fabric of the kingdom and stitched 2 pieces of patchland together. Back in Dreamland, it was total chaos over at Castle DDD. What is going on here? It appeared that Yin Yan's Waddle Dee imposters had captured all of the real Waddle Dees. You can't be mean to my Waddle Dees. Only I can be mean to my Waddle Dees. That was when Yin Yan's troops decided to show King DDD who was boss. Hey, that tickles. Okay, that hurts. Stop, I give up. And in no time they had King DDD wrapped up like a birthday present. Yeah. Only one more step and Dreamland will be mine. What an honor it is to have a king serving me. Yin Yan's sock began to glow. And then it sucked King DDD right inside. Yeah. Dreamland will be mine. Not sure what I'll do with it, but I'll figure something out. Could no one stop Yin Yan from tearing apart the very fabric of Dreamland?
Spoiler alert, yes, we hopefully trying to able to stop Yin Yan or Yin Yan after all this time. Sorry for a little bit of a pronunciation errors. So, anyways though, we've actually unlocked the next new world in the game, Snowland, and I actually cannot believe that King Dedede was actually not going to be taking part in new forms of, in Patchland now. So even then though, that we can able to actually see what world he's going to be in. So, anyways though, we've actually placed the treasure map patch and able to unlock probably the most annoying level in the entire game in my opinion, just because, well, we'll explain more into that as soon as we're able to jump into the actual level itself. So even then though, here we go, into Boatyard. So what makes this kind of annoying though is the fact that if you remember from the level, but in forms of like, let's just say, what's another level I was going to explain about this? But in forms of like, let's just say Weird Woods from the forms of the first world. And basically, because we need to deal with auto-scrolling section, and this might be the only time, well, aside from one of the levels from the forms of Dark Manor from, Treatland, this is another one of those secret levels that's non-transformation levels. So even then, it's just a very simple, straightforward, running and jumping level type. So even then, though, that's expected from any other games to be like this. So, anyways, though, as you can see, the main gimmick of this is that aside from this auto-scoring section, and also because of how the fact that, we're gonna have to avoid a lot of those homing missiles. Well, to be more accurately, the normal variations of these little missile rockets, because if you don't pay attention to those whatsoever, especially if you want to able to go after every single treasures in the game, like for instance, we got ourselves our treasure chest right there, and you might as well able to actually just go ahead and just go after every single treasures and just keep your eyes out. So even though if you want to able to actually just to see what's going to be happening, even if you want to get every single treasures in the game, and also if you really desperately want to get a gold medal in this level though, be sure to able to complete this level without taking any kind of damage, because if you do get hit by certain points of a level, well, chances are you might as well able to lose a lot of beads, and especially noticeable how the fact that you can get a lot of trial and error, even for, like, if you completely mess up with your jumps, even if you're caught off guard by the explosion effects with the missile. So, or in this case, the actual rocket missile, if I like to say for this much. So anyways, it's important to know we need to go up here, and that was actually really close to able to get poke into the actual spears. And that way, we get ourselves our theme from Treatland. So, again, kind of odd right there to able to actually add that previous world's music theme. I think it's notably because of how the fact that I'm pretty sure this music shares the exact same musical track as the forms of any other previous levels. So, kind of like how it did in the forms of Warrior Lands, the Shake Dimension, and especially noticeable for Yoshi's Woolly World almost. Which I probably need to find things out during that time period. So even then though, well, because of how the fact that between those three games, including the likes of Yoshi's Crafted World for the Nintendo Switch, that game was also going to be developed by the forms of Good Feel as well. So Yeah, that's how it usually gathers. But I might be curious how the fact that it might share the exact same musical tracks in here and there. So even that might be saying that much. So a few things I just want to talk about this, because today was actually forms of the 19th of September 2018. So that means there's going to be some more stuff that I'd like to talk about. First of all, the new Nintendo Switch game has just recently announced, and it's going to be a Sega Mega Drive compilation, which in fact, previously they released those two, previously they actually released Sega Mega Drive Classics Collection. Is the fact that they previously released those on the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and now it's time for the Nintendo Switch time to shine, but in forms of the, well, as you expected, Sega Mega Drive Classics, only forms of the Nintendo Switch compilation. So basically, it might share the exact same features like the save system and online challenges and all that stuff, and also by the forms of the 50 selection of games, unlike the forms of how it does it in, let's just say in the Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection. They do have quite a large amount of games from, well, the only missing games I was hoping for anyway, which are both Sonic the Hedgehog 3 and Sonic & Knuckles, because even then I have no idea why they can't be bothered to able to add those two games all together. And by the way, we need to be very careful of that, because if you think you actually reached to the very end, well, we've got ourselves a mini fight to deal with right there, and there we go. And as you can see, despite the fact that I have so much negativity with the forms of, well, for this level in general, I've managed to accomplish this level for the first try, which not only for the actual level, but also required a gold medal, so how about that? So yeah, it's not too bad, I feel like, but it's just kind of annoying to deal with, especially with the forms of, like, auto-scrolling sections here and there. Especially noticeable, you can't afford to get hit once, because if you get hit at least once, your beats were able to scatter all over the place, and there's no way you can able to go backtrack and getting them. And because of that, though, you might as well have a hard time getting a gold medal, because I remember whenever I encountered that level for my first attempts back in whenever I first got the game, holy cow, I can never seem to able to get that godforsaken gold medal on that level, just because, well, it's all about trial and error and stuff. So even then, although challenge doesn't really bother me that much, but other than that though, I could imagine if I was going to be playing this on the 3DS, on the devilish mode, just the devilish mode and stuff like that, but we'll have to wait until next year though, before that version comes out. So anyways though, now we've actually unlocked the final level in Waterland, and that's the forms of Fossil Reef. So, can you guess what this level represents for? As you might have guessed it, well, we have another transformation level, so it looks like every single secret levels, as far as this game's concerned, is going to be most accurately focusing on transformation sequences. Well, there are two exceptions so far, which are, Dark Manor from Treatland, and especially noticeable for, the most recent level, or the previous level that we've explored through. That's the forms of Boatyard. So, yeah, I thought I would bring it up. So, man, I really love the actual music in this level. It's so vibrant too, even with the forms of like the colors and these color palettes, and everything else in this game is so gorgeous to look at, even for the Nintendo Wii game. And I'm sure enough it might be the same thing for the new Nintendo 3DS versions as well, but since then, how the fact that the 3DS doesn't have that much of a bigger screen, unlike the forms of the Nintendo Wii version, because, much like in Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D, that kind of does the same thing, except, although I might be curious about the fact that that version of Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn were able to actually still run in 60 frames per second, just like the ones in the Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World on the new Nintendo 3DS. If you manage to run that, keep that mystery handheld running. But that's just how I think it is, though. So I think it could be the same applies for this game, to be more exactly, though. So even though what's kind of odd about it is the fact that how, as far as I've mentioned about this during the likes of the last video, how I said about the fact that the Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is going to be the new Nintendo 3DS exclusive and all that stuff. I don't know if they're actually going to be changing the actual box art, I think. But even then, we'll definitely wait until when that turns out to be. Oh, shoot. That was my fault. I was able to actually just try to kill these guys, but you can't break free from those little particular obstacles like this, but I believe you have to like press the 2 button in order to actually break free, just like the ones in you know, with these little you know, the bomb section in the forms of the 3rd boss. It's kind of like that, except that we're actually going to be taking control of Dolphin Kirby, which still is very cool and pleasing to the eye, as far as for the most part. So yeah, that's what I can really doubt it for anyway. So, anyways, I believe there might be something up there, which while doing so, in fact, this might be tricky sometimes. Ah, shoot. Yeah, you can't able to actually move Dolphin Kirby once you're on the solid ground. You always have to maneuver Dolphin Kirby when you're in water. So, anyways, we got ourselves the fossil treasure. So yeah, only one more to go, and that way we should able to wrap things up with Waterland, so even then, that we can able to move on to the 5th world in the game, or in this case, the 5th main world of the game, by the forms of Snowland, and although, again, we'll do that until when we get to the next video, so again, I do apologize by the forms of today's, my voice has gone a little bit, iffy again, just because of how the fact that I did drink quite a lot, but it's just how the fact that when it comes to doing commentaries and all that stuff, it can get pretty, difficult sometimes, even if you really know what exactly you're going to be on about by the forms of some specific points worth noting for, especially whenever you're trying to, think about the actual analysis, or just yeah, you can't turn right or anything like that once you're able to you know, slide onto the, or in this case, just walk on the actual solid platform and stuff. So there we go. We got ourselves the theme of Waterland's Hub World. So because you know this theme plays exactly like how it does it in I'm presuming the 4th level. I'm presuming in Waterland, if I remember correctly or not. But even then, we'll trying to research onto those kinds of stuff, but again, we'll figure this out until when we actually just, you know, proceed on things for the most part. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump from ring to ring, and I think that's pretty much it. Even though I did actually lose some of those streaks, mind you, because of that little shriggity-wiggity type of enemies I was going to be on about, and let me guess, I don't get anything, don't I? Nope, I deserve that. I deserve that ending wheel sequence, but oh well, whatever. We've pretty much done with the forms of Waterland, and also, since we've got every single treasures and every single gold medals on that world, so that means we've pretty much done for, well, 100% for everything in this particular world. So now we've done with that, and although I mentioned about this before, that I feel like I was going to be going back into the minigames and stuff like that. Or actually, I don't think I even mentioned about this. But even then, we'll save Snowland for the next video. And from now on though, since we've got a plethora of time, I think it's about time to able to do some more mission challenges for both. I might as well do 2 challenges from now on though, which are, well, obviously for both Zeke's hide and seek challenges and the Beadrix run. Sorry for a little bit of a tangent right there for this point, folks and ladies and gentlemen, so I must confess I really do apologize for that. So, anyways, yeah, I don't think we can do anything in here at the moment just yet, though, other than we can able to just head over to the forms of the Snowland before we move on to the next video and stuff like that, as far as I've mentioned this before. And, after I've pretty much done with, those 2 challenges right from the start, I think I should probably just go ahead and just buy something from the fabric shop or the furniture shops. Even then, hopefully I can able to actually get these items to be required. So that's kind of cute. The Waddle Dee you know, item right there. That's actually very convenient. In fact, let me just go ahead and just buy these furnitures for a little quickly in case if I need some opportunities that I can able to 100% for everything. So. And of course, because you know how the fact that these items will also count from 100%ing the game. So because if you think you've actually completely done with everything, but it turns out you still got more things to come here. But in forms of like, you know, buying shops from both fabric and the furniture stores. So first we're bringing this up. And, yeah, that's all everything we've got for this point. So even then, we'll just go ahead and buy most of those, furnitures at the moment. I might as well save the fabric shop every time whenever I finish up, the worlds per world, or just specific challenges worth mentioning, but even then, that can wait until for extensive amount of time. Even then, we still got plenty of time to able to actually finish up the game before, like, you know, before I even going back into Captain Toad Treasure Tracker for Nintendo Wii U, Nintendo 3DS, and Nintendo Switch Let's Play. But even then, because of that, though, I'm just mainly focusing on this game from now on, though, for this point, folks. I know that you guys are probably thinking of how the fact that, well, I'm sure you guys don't mind if you're pretty much going to be stuck with this particular Let's Play so far. Or else I'm going to go back into, you know, Captain Toad Treasure Tracker shortly after that, after we finish up with this game. So, yeah, you got to wait for a long, extensive amount of while. So even then, that. Although, don't really mind about it too much. So anyways, let's go ahead inside the Zeke's flat for now. And because of that, though, we'll do those in a chronological order. Now, you guys are probably thinking, well, I could do some carry stages. Well, I figured I might as well do the carry stages for the, or in this case, carries transport challenges in another time. Because, well, since there's not much else we can do at the moment, I figured that, well, not to mention because of how the fact that most of these missions can take a little bit of amount of time to able to complete them, and I feel like the carries transport missions can take a bit of a while, can take a long time to get into, because most of those levels can actually bring you to a shorter length as possible. But other than that, though, that's all I could really doubt it for anyway. So, anyways, though, another thing I just want to point out right away is the fact that, well, recently, how the fact that, at least in North America anyway, they recently announced there's going to be a Nintendo Switch bundle, and it's going to come with Fortnite. So, as you might expect it from any other gaming marketing out there, especially with how the fact that, you know how popular that game was now, even then. Could imagine how the fact that it will able to actually compare to Call of Duty Black Ops 4 or something like that, but I don't think it's actually going to able to make it happen or something, but I'm just making things up. So, another thing I wanted to talk about for this point, folks, is the fact that recently yesterday, the one thing I forgot to mention about this in the last video is that I am so excited by the forms of to having ourselves another new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, which is very good, especially notable how the fact that we've already got ourselves the Big Hero 6 world at long last, to able to see the actual gameplay of it whatsoever. Ah, you stupid Waddle Dee. I hate you sometimes. Anyway, yeah, not only because of how the fact that we've already know about the fact that we've got a Big Hero 6 world at this point in time, and also because of how the fact that it actually leads us to the forms of like another new trailer of Kingdom Hearts 3. This means it did actually shows us by the forms of a I will say a new world's montage or something like that, or maybe it's something else for that matter, but even then, we'll see what happens there. We'll definitely see what happens there, and I keep losing all of my beats like an idiot. But even then, as long as I can able to actually be very cautious with this stuff, again, because I'm most likely gonna have to keep on farming those beads as much as possible. Even if I was trying to able to buy more stuff in the shops, even for, you know, furnitures, and especially with fabrics here and there as well. So, you get a drill from that point. So, let's see what we've got for this fabric. So, we've got at the beach fabric. Huh, sounds convenient. And since we've unlocked a new level, so that means we can now traverse to Blob Blob Ocean. So, even though we'll get this one started. So, yeah, there's not much else you can tell. So, even then though, as far as for my shocking surprise by the forms of the new Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer, it really surprised me because of how the fact that I did not expect that these organizations behave as badly as the forms of like in any other games. They always becomes like a villains and stuff like that. But apparently I feel a little bit puzzled about the story elements with Kingdom Hearts 3. I know it's gonna take place let's just say after the events of Kingdom Hearts 3D, Dream Drop Distance, or in this case, Kingdom Hearts. dream drop distance, and especially noticeable with Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep 0.2 and stuff like that, with the, well, the Frankenberry passage and stuff. I could assume because of how the fact that, because, you know, it runs the exact same engine as this, as far as usually goes. The only thing I'm most likely concerned of is the fact that I was so shocked at how the fact that Roxas was actually in the game, which I was like, oh my god, it's Roxas! I can't believe he's actually going to make his returning. But I'm really hoping he's going to be playable again ever since in, let's just say he's only been playable in, let's just say about 2 games so far for the Kingdom Hearts series. Well, I'm not going to count Ventus though, because Ventus is more likely just a original personality than, well, not just a actual copy of Roxas, but it's just more likely the originality of everything. So, but even then though, that we actually anyway, Roxas has only been playable ever since, well, Kingdom Hearts 2, and especially notable for Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days, or in this case, sorry, really can't speak today for this point, folks, because again, my throat has actually gone a little bit dried up again, but I really do must apologize for this point, folks. So, anyways though, yeah, another game that Roxas has actually been playable at this point in time, which is, you know, Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days. So, that makes it very obvious with that little stimulation parts. So, anyways though, the last Zeke is just right inside there, but again, you need to get rid of those, enemies by simply using that projectile of any kind, and then once you do that, then you've pretty much done with this particular mission. So yeah, that's that done, and I don't think we can actually do anything from him at the moment, so even then though, we've pretty much done with Zeke's hide and seek challenges, well, for now on though anyway, well, after we actually deal with, you know, Snowlands next. So even then though, we've got ourselves every single, like, fabrics that we do need for 100% completionist department. So, anyways, I believe it's about time to able to do with a next challenges and stuff like that. It might actually be Beadrix this turn. So even then, though, we might actually go ahead and do that. So, yeah, I'm really hoping that Roxas is going to be a playable character for the 3rd time in the Kingdom Hearts series, which I was really hoping for because we haven't seen Roxas as a playable character since those 2 games. Mainly, you know, both Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 358/2 days. So, yeah, that's very obvious. So, anyways, though, in this mission right there is obviously we need to collect 200 beads, but except the fact that we do have less time because, you know, it's gonna take place in a small arena. So even then, I'm presuming we've got plethora of time to able to grab the rest. So, there we go. Yeah, it's not too bad of this mission though, I don't feel like. So anyway, so did we get any additional ones? So of course we do. And of course we've actually unlocked a new stage for Beadrix. I'm presuming that the next level we're going to be hit into is the fact that we're going to be going into is although I do notice this before, but oh yeah, we got a blue sky or in this case, no, not blue sky. I keep thinking of the actual studio's company. The blue star fabric. Sorry for a little bit of a tangent right there. Deep dive deep. And what else is going to be, you know, much like how it does it in Blob Blob Ocean, is the fact that we have the exact same beats collective fun, and especially with the exact same time limit. So hopefully things were able to actually be a successful attempt at this point, and this is where the dolphin transformation comes into play. So expecting so. I think the green beads might be the best option to able to actually grab the majority of these beads, because the more you collect those green beads, then the more higher it can actually get. So, come on. Oh, just 1 second to spare. How about that? Even though if I did not make it in nick of time, then I have to redo the entire level again. Or in this case, for this mission to be more exactly. So, yeah, I really do apologize about the forms of the awkward shots, but the forms of the commentaries wise, because ironically, like what Mickey already mentioned about this during the likes of in Sonic in the Secret Rings redo Let's Play, my microphone actually just somehow just disconnected all over again. I can't believe how it done that. But anyways, now we move on to, I will do one last challenge for now, so even now we're about to be entering to Lava Landing? Okay, a little bit odd placement for right there, but obviously in this mission right there is the fact that we need to collect about 160 beads, so yeah, that's pretty obvious right there, especially with the informs of how the fact that there's actually a small... You were kidding me! Let me retry that. So here we go with the second attempt for this point. Because, you know how the fact that most of my microphone seems to be working alright for the most part though, but it's just how the fact of the matter is though, if I was still trying to do some more commentary and all that stuff, for whatever reason that my USB connector of my microphone just always keep on... You are kidding me! I have to stop... Alright, third time's a charm then. Now the reason why I have to keep on resetting this level is the fact that one thing that makes this mission kind of difficult, at least in my opinion though anyway, is the fact that you need to be exact right on with that specific, you know, zipper to be able to actually just, you know, get that godforsaken star beast. Because if you made a simple mistake like I just did for about a few seconds ago, you're probably not going to do it like a first attempt or something. So even then though, that particular challenge can get pretty tricky sometimes, I will admit though. But, hey, at least it's short and self-explanatory right there, because we've already experienced lava landing before, but in forms of the Carry's Transport challenge. But hey, on the plus side though, we have now finally done it. So, let's see what fabric we've got. Is the Fireball fabric. Okay then, seems pleasant surprise. And, yeah, I think that pretty much does it for now on though, especially with the actual challenges all by itself. I know you guys are probably thinking how the fact that we could able to do more of those carries stages, even for carries transport missions. Well, as I mentioned to you before, I might as well able to do those in a later time, because as you can tell, most of the actual levels for carries transports can get a tad bit more longer, but I can assure to you, I can appreciate if we can able to actually do those in time. So even then though, before we're able to actually end things off, however, though, I need to see what's in here. Oh, I wonder if I can buy that particular item right there, by the forms of Scruffy, the most iconic enemy from the Kirby series, but apparently I don't have that enough. So, although I could potentially try to do that in the forms of the Carry's Transport missions and stuff, but I don't think I can do those for now anyway. So, let's see how our progression is so far for the Patch Plaza. So we've got 77% for the cost, 67 for stuff, and 34 for fabric. So we don't have that enough fabric, but don't worry, we'll get more. 58 of medals, and 55 for tunes, and finally 66 for films. So yeah, I'm assuming that yet again the cast managed to able to get the majority votes from this point. So even then though, there's also bells you can able to interact with, but again, I'm also able to explain those until when we get to the very end of the video, or in this case, the very end of the actual Let's Play of the game. So, anyways, I think that does it for that for now, and we'll go ahead and transport to Snowland, and we'll leave it at that, and we'll end things off here. So, yeah, join me next time. We'll Let's Play Kirby's Epic Yarn. It's the fact that we're going to be exploring through the 5th world in the game, at least the main ones anyway. Snowland. What is this, Christmas? All the way. We've got plenty of months to go, so see you guys then.